Right then, this is going to be fun. Welcome back, England fans. Welcome back to mediocrity. And I'm annoyed. I'm sure all of you are annoyed. But are you surprised? Maybe a little bit, but not me. I mean, there was that part of me. I really thought this morning that we were going to just smash the Americans like we did the Iranians the other day. But clearly Gareth Southgate had other ideas in mind, and let's just quickly get the one positive out of the way, because there is a positive from this game, and that is that Harry Maguire was absolutely outstanding and by far the man of the match. He is the only reason we have not lost this game, and I'm utterly convinced of that. He won every single header at the back, put in crucial tackles and blocks, and even won a few headers at the other end as well, which can be said for some of the other players in the team. I think John Stones, Luke Shaw and Declan Rice did their jobs as fine as they could do as well, but other than that, it was an absolutely abysmal performance, and that is only down to one man, and as always, that man is Gareth Southgate. And I'm going to tell you straight away why tonight has happened. And that is after an absolutely shambolic Nations League campaign where we sat back, didn't really do a lot, and ended up losing and getting relegated. For the first game of the World Cup, Gareth Southgate decided to play what he felt was his best possible England team and just allowed the players to express themselves, be their creative selves, be explosive, be dynamic, be everything that we know they are when we see them in the Premier League, and obviously Jude Bellingham when he plays for Borussia Dortmund. And what happened in that game is we conceded 2 goals. And that's it. While the rest of us were all rejoicing at the fact that we've scored 6 goals and that we've won the game and made the perfect start to the World Cup, we conceded 2 goals, and for Gareth Southgate, that is the only thing that mattered. And honestly, if you watch the interview after the Iran game, he was more annoyed in that game than he was in the majority of the Nations League games and after the games where we got knocked out of the previous major tournaments. Purely because we conceded 2 goals, and that is the only reason we have played the way we have played tonight. Because he has gone back to his notion of, no, we cannot concede. If we're going to win a major tournament, it has to be built on solid defensive play. We do not have defensive players. We have some of the best attacking-minded players in world football right now. And once again, you have told them to stick to their shape and play safe. And what's happened is we have not conceded, thanks to Harry Maguire, but also we have not scored once again. And that's purely down to Southgate being absolutely senile when it comes to just tactically getting it backwards. We won 6-2. Do you know what happens when you score 6 goals? You normally win. Yes, conceding 2 is bad, but I'd rather concede 2 and score 6 than concede none and score none. And that's what's happened again tonight. It's just, I don't know where we go from here, because, like I said, Gareth Southgate was frustrated after the Iran game. I've not seen his press conference because obviously he's not done it yet. He's probably delivering it as I'm recording this right now. But I bet to you he is happier with tonight's performance than he is with the Iran performance because we didn't concede. And I'm telling you, he is convinced that the only way to win a major tournament is with a solid defence. But let's look at what happens when we try to do that. In the World Cup in Russia, we tried to defend, and Colombia scored, and we were lucky to go through on penalties. Then we went up against Croatia, we tried to defend, and we lost, and we got eliminated. Then you go to the Euros, where, to our credit, we didn't concede a single goal till the semi-final, where we then conceded and then went more attacking and won the game. Then against Italy, we went 1 up. Then we tried to defend and we lost on penalties. So, how he can look at that Iran performance and make the decision that the priority for the next game needs to be defending rather than let's just go out there and do that again baffles me. Because we have so much attacking talent at our disposal. The fact that he hasn't brought Phil Foden on tonight is an insult. It's an absolute insult to the quality of the player. And if you're not going to bring him on in a game like this, when are you going to bring him on? Because James Maddison's not even available yet because he's still injured. So in the next game, are we not going to bring Phil Foden and not bring James Maddison on? The way I look at it is if we're playing this front 4 of Kane up top and then the 3 behind, today, the first game it was Saka, Mount and Sterling. fine. If you're going to play like that, fine. But you tell those 4 players to go absolutely gung-ho for the first 60 minutes, because guess what? You've got 5 substitutes. And when that front 4 are knackered, you can bring on Foden, Grealish, Rashford and Wilson. It doesn't matter how badly you're defending. Okay, you want to be a little bit defensively secure, but when you've got 8 players of that much attacking quality available to you, 9 when Maddison's back, how can you go into the game where your only focus is defending? I can tell you exactly what his team talk would have been. It would have been, USA need to win this game, so we're going to do everything in our power to not let USA score, because if we get a point, we then only need a point against Wales to get through. But if we do manage to get the off chance where we get a quick counter-attack and try and get it in behind to Sterling and Saka and we can nick a goal, even better, because then we'll be through tonight. But don't worry about it, just make sure we don't concede. And that's what happens. We didn't concede. Well done, Gareth. You got what you wanted. And the rest of us now sit here absolutely bemused and baffled as to what our realistic chances are in this tournament now, because you've killed the mood of the country. You really have. And I think he'll make changes for the Wales game. I think he'll make some changes. I think he'll give some players a rest that he thinks he can give a rest to. But we'll see, because we now have to get a result against Wales. Yes, I know they said on commentary we can still lose 4-0. But he's got what he wanted. We're on 4 points after 2 games. We get a draw or we beat Wales, we're through. And even if we lose relatively as long as we don't lose too badly to Wales, chances are we're still through. But it would then be a much harder route to the final. So boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. I understand what he's done. I don't understand why he does it, because how he can honestly justify that performance after what's happened at the previous major tournaments and what's happened in the Nations League. Then you beat Iran 6-2. Just big questions to answer for. And I hope the press give him absolute hell for this, because they need to. Because he needs to be put under pressure. He seemed to cave under pressure in terms of picking James Maddison after seeming adamant that he wasn't going to pick him. But the fact that he's injured and the fact that he hasn't even brought Phil Foden on suggests to me that we're not going to see James Maddison at any stage of this World Cup. He was just put in the squad just to make everyone happy. But right now, everyone's not happy, Gareth. And it needs to be sorted, because if we put in another performance like that against Wales, not only are we potentially not going to win the group, we're also going to be going into the knockout stages off the back of 2 poor performances, when we should be going into the knockout stages off the back of 3 impressive wins. Don't think there's anything else to say. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything. Again, shout out Harry Maguire. Well done for doing your job, mate. You deserve all the plaudits you'll get over the next couple of days for what was an outstanding performance from him. But, yeah, need much better from the rest of the team. But I can't put that blame on any of the players, because they have been told to play that way. Thank you very much for watching. Again, like I say, comment down below what your thoughts on the game were, what you think our realistic prospects are for the rest of this tournament, if we're going to continue to play like that. And yeah, I'll see you in the morning for more predictions.